Today we're going to preview Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and take a look at the Genie Subclass for the Warlock. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, you're not going to believe what this thing can do. So get ready to be amazed here on Rolling with Advantage.
Pieces down there. Whoa! Tracking. Kaboom. No enemy personnel.
You may think you just watched a Call of Duty video with the gunship, but it's actually the Genie subclass for the Warlock that's coming out. That's actual gameplay footage, and it's going to be a lot of fun to play. A little annoying to DM against, but it's all good. We'll have fun with it. So let me explain how we get to that as we go through and preview this new subclass. So when you choose the Genie as your subclass for Warlock, you get to pick which type of Genie you're going to be, whether the Earth, Air, Fire, or Water. Dao, Jinn, Afridi, and then finally the Merid. Now, Genie's Vessel. So you get this at first level. You get to pick what type of vessel that you have, whether it be like an ornate lantern or a lamp. It basically serves as your arcane focus, but it also allows you to magically teleport in and out of it. And eventually you can call your entire party in to have like a giant feast inside your lantern. Pretty cool. But what we're real excited as we scroll down is when we take a look at the other features and the expanded spell list. So for this, as an expanded spell list, we have two things that you're going to get for picking this subclass. First, you're going to get all of the Genie spells added to your spell list, and that's the one that we see on the far left over here. Detect Evil and Good, Phantasmal Force, all this stuff is great. It's the one down at the bottom of that list that I want you to look at. Wish. That's right. Warlock can now cast Wish. Now, it's interesting that this made it into the final version because it was in, and then it was out of the UA, and then finally it's back in. So now all of these things are back in, and I'm super excited that we're going to have a Warlock that casts Wish. I mean, if you're a Genie, you should be able to do that, right? You also have all these other spells that we get to add, whether it's from the Dao spells, which is like the stone shape, Wall of Stone, the Jinn spells, which would be, you know, your air, your storm spells, Thunder Wave, Gust of Wind, Wind Wall, Greater Invisibility. Now we have a Warlock who can cast Greater Invisibility. This used to be a Bard, Wizard, or Sorcerer spell, but now Warlocks have access to it, and that's going to be crazy. So also we look over at the Afridi spells, fire-based spells, super cool, Burning Hand, Scorching Ray, more fireballs for everybody. Fun stuff. The Merid spells, the air, fog, cloud, blur, sleet storm, all of this is good. But there's one thing here on this list that I'm curious about. What is Control Warmer? Obviously, this is going to be a new spell we're going to see. I don't know if this is the climate change spell that I've heard about. So I'm very curious to see what that spell is that they're going to be able to cast. So we'll put a pin in that one and come back. So all of that's great. So now with this, we have more options of how we can build a Warlock, which is always great. Now, as we scroll down, we take a look at what else you get. You get Bottled Respite. So basically what this allows you to do is what we talked about earlier, where you can kind of pull yourself back into the lantern to do your rest. Then we scroll down and we're going to take it Genie's Wrath. This is nice. Once during each of your turns, when you hit with an attack roll, you can do extra damage to the target equal to your proficiency bonus. And the type of this damage is determined by your patron. So bludgeoning for Dao, thunder for Jinn, fire for Ifrit, or cold for Merid. That's really cool that we get to kind of change our damage up a little bit for your Eldritch Blast, you know, to have a little extra damage on there. It's really cool. But if you look at the fact with Eldritch Blast, we're already adding so many things with it. So let's say we're a Warlock, we choose like Agonizing Blast, so we can add our Charisma modifier, then we get Genie's Wrath on top of it, and then heaven forbid we're like an Aasimar and we took its racial trait, and then you get Hex to put on it. And now it's just crazy, you know. So all of the things that we can add up now, the Eldritch Blast is just going to get ridiculous, even more so than it already was. Finally, we get to the thing that I'm excited and nervous about at the same time, is the fact that it gets this thing called Elemental Gift. And what Elemental Gift does is that, you begin to take on characteristics of your patron. You now have resistance to a type of determined by your patron's kind: bludgeoning, thunder, fire, or cold. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. We like that. In addition, as a bonus action, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, during which you can hover. You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to the proficiency bonus, and you regain all of them when you finish a long rest. Okay. This is ridiculous. And the reason it's ridiculous is that it's not a spell, and it's not any type of concentration. So you can basically, at level 6, you can do this, and then at level 7, you're going to get access to greater invisibility. So here's your Warlock, who's going to be flying, he's going to be invisible, and he's just going to be raining down death and destruction like the gunship that we saw earlier. That's what's about to happen with this, and that is going to be awesome. Think about this. You could also take the invocations for your Eldritch Blast. You could take the one where you can shoot 120 feet. You could take the one where you can push targets around. So now you've got a Warlock that's going to be flying around the battlefield, invisible, at 120 feet in the air, pushing everything around. It is the gunship build. It looks awesome. Now, there were some of this we could already kind of do with the previous, but now adding that greater invisibility on top of it, and the fact that flight is not going to be a concentration spell, woo, that looks like that's going to be crazy. So right off the bat, that is going to be extremely powerful in D&D. So I'm excited to see that hit the table. All right. Sanctuary Vessel. So this is the one at level 10. We're going to be able to pull all of our friends in and have the party in our lantern or lamp or whatever. Super cool ability. Limited Wish. This is cool. So 14th level, you entreat your patron to grant you a small wish. And as an action, you can speak your desire to your genie's vessel, requesting the effect of one spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. The spell can be from any class's spell list, and you don't need to meet the requirements of that spell, including components. The spell simply takes effect as part of this action, and you can only use this feature once you use it. You have to have 1d4 long rest before you can use this again. Okay, so this opens up the entire spell book of D&D to the genie, okay? That's crazy. It's just the utility that you could pull something out of nowhere and say, you know what would be really good in this situation? Spirit Guardians. You know, be really good in this. We need a Revivify. Oh, I don't have a 500 gold gem. Not a problem. I'll use a Limited Wish. That's crazy. It's going to be really fun. I'm glad they put it in. I don't think it's overpowered in any sense. It's a 14th level ability, and it adds an immense amount of versatility to what the Warlock can do, because that's always been the issue with the Warlock, is you only get those 2 spell slots, so we need other abilities that are spell-like effects, like the fact that they can fly or they can pull Limited Wish out. Those are all great things for the Warlock, so I give this 2 giant thumbs up. I'm super excited about where this is going to take D&D, and I'm excited about Tasha's Cauldron to everything. I mean, the fact that we're seeing this, ooh, I'm very curious to see the rest of the subclasses. So I think this book is going to be a must-buy for all DMs and all players alike. This book can't get here fast enough, so super excited about it. All right, I'm already going to start kind of building around with this. So if you have any ideas or questions, or we want to start to bounce some ideas out, leave some comments down below. I'd love to chat with you. Or you could join our Discord, and we could take it there, and we've got a community there that's kind of coming together to build different things and talk about upcoming games. And with that, keep rolling with advantage. Thanks.